Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Esley Greer from Entertainment Fanatic Reviews, back with another review, and today I'll be talking about Jeepers Creepers 2. I forgot to mention in my first video that I do own the original Jeepers Creepers on VHS, and I would like to get the second one sometime soon on VHS. So yeah, let's get started. So as always, I talk about the plot, story, and direction. So the bus being trapped on an island is a very clever idea, but it isn't fully executed because you have a lot of characters that you don't really care for. You can't really latch on to one single character. I used to like the main actress when I was younger, but upon rewatch, no one in this film is really outstanding except Ray Wise, but you hardly get him in that. And then you have the Creeper, but he's the villain. So you don't really have any main characters that you really care for. I wish the film would have revolved around Ray Wise's character because his son gets kidnapped by the Creeper. At the beginning of the film, it's the opening scene. I do, but I don't like that this film takes place on the last day of the Creeper's feeding, or if that's what you want to call it, his feeding frenzy. Because Victor Salva wrote this, every 23rd spring, the Creeper comes back and it gets to eat, which you can make 23 sequels or prequels with Jeepers Creepers because it's a 23-day span. I wish that it took place 23 years after the original and Gina Phillips would come back. That would be pretty cool. Like if they released Jeepers Creepers 2 in 2010, 2011, that would have been pretty cool. And it has some nice cinematography. It's a very eccentric score. I really do like it. I think I prefer the score in this one over the original, but that's just me. So for plot, story, and direction, I'm going to give it a 3.25 out of 5. It would have been higher if we followed Ray Wise's character, but like I said, it's filled with characters that we don't like. So on to the kills, gore, and effects. The practical effects, for the most part in this film, are amazing. There are a few shots that are just and the green screen scenes, they're not really outstanding. They're nothing special. There is more CGI in this film. There was very few shots of CGI in the first, but now there's a lot more, and you can tell the Creeper in this film, I prefer him in this one than I do in the original. He has this more wet feel, I guess, because his skin looks more wet instead of dry like he looked in the first. The Creeper looks amazing in this film. Him chopping off that guy's head as a kid terrified me, because it terrified me when he chopped off his head, put the head back on, put that guy's head onto his head, and he looked at the screen, and it terrified me as a kid, but it doesn't really hold up as much as I would like it to, but what can you do? So for kills, gore, and effects, I'm going to go with 3.75 out of 5. It's really effects heavy film, but just not the type of effects that I'm into. I like practical effects over CGI, but so onto the acting. Like I said, you follow a lot of characters that you don't really care for. Some of them you wish that the Creeper would just take away right away, but he doesn't. But you wish he does. That's the thing. You have 20 plus people on this bus that's stuck on the highway, and I don't really care for any one of them. They're not really anything special. I mean, their acting is fine for what they were given and what type of characters they are, but the fact that you don't really care for them and some of the things that they say, things that they do to one another, is, I don't really care for it. So for acting, I'm going to be nice and give this a 3.25 out of 5 because Ray Wise and Jonathan Breck as the Creeper are really phenomenal. If it wasn't for them two, I would probably give this like a 1.5 to 2 out of 5 for acting, but for them, 3.5 out of 5. And so on to the ending and finale of the film. The Creeper and Ray Wise have this big showdown at the end of the film. It is effects heavy with CGI and practical effects. I like the mixture of the two towards the end. And there's a really effective scene where the Creeper has his leg chopped off, and I believe one of his arms chopped off, but he's he's trying to use his wings to chase the black guy, and he's hopping, but it looks very terrifying, and the noises that he makes are a bit terrifying as well. But the showdown, like I said, it's the last day of the feeding frenzy, and so his claws, or whatever they are, they wrap around, and he goes into hibernation. And then it goes to roughly 23 years after, give or take a few days before the creeper starts to, go on another feeding frenzy. And you see these teens go to Ray Wise's character's house, and he has the creeper up on his barn, and he charges them $5 each to look at it. And Ray Wise's character is older, and he's waiting, and the teenagers don't know what he's waiting for, but he says give or take a few days, and it's a great way to tease a sequel that we are probably never going to get, if we're being honest here. Overall, it's a great ending. I like it. I don't like it as much as the original, of course, but I'm going to go a light 4 out of 5 for the ending and finale. And so on to the main question. Would I watch it again? Yes, but it's not my favorite in the franchise. It's not one that I really gravitate towards too, and there's a lot of homosexual undertones, which there's nothing wrong with that, because we have a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. But if you take into account what Victor Salva did, this film is just one that it goes down a few notches because of what he did, and the shit that he got away with, and the shit that he got away with putting into this film. It's not one that I really want to watch knowing all that, because there's a lot of stuff in here that's just like, how do you get away with putting that in the film after what he did? Like, it makes no bit of sense. So therefore, I'm going to say that Jeepers Creepers 2 is a background movie. It's one that, you can turn on, and, you just play on your phone or whatever, just look up every few scenes to look at the creeper and see what he's doing, or just follow Ray Wise's character, but it's nothing really special. It's not the movie that we deserved after Jeepers Creepers 1, but as always, if you guys found any entertainment in this video, let me know in the comments below. With that said, don't be scared to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It'd be highly appreciated, and peace.